Protect and serve. Move along, citizen. Protect and serve.
he's good enough for Lindy, he's good enough for me. If he's good enough for Lindy, he's good enough for me. If you notice wilting flowers, then please do let me know. Oh no! You're wilting! Please keep off the grass. I don't want my flowers damaged. I hope that you're enjoying your stay at Rapidan Camp. The weather has been simply awful as of late. We simply can't show wilting flowers at the flower gala. We'll be the laughing stock of the show. The garden always looks splendid this time of year. If he's good enough for Lindy, he's good enough for me. Oh, hello there! Welcome to Rapidan Camp, the president's home away from home. Well, I'm Gumley, the supervisor here, but as you can see, my colleagues aren't the friendliest bunch. I try to keep the grounds in tip-top condition, but ever since we ran out of fertilizer, the sky changed color. It's almost impossible to do so. Well, maintaining the flora here at Rapidan Camp isn't about just the aesthetics. These flowers provide me and any guests a sense of normality in this chaotic world. Besides, a well-tended garden does wonders for the guests' mental health and well-being. That's something in short supply out here. It all started with that ruckus from the Dark Hollow Manor, you see. Oh, I do hope that they're all right. They are in the thick of it after all, but according to my colleague Hemsworth, the garden is in complete chaos. This brings me a lot of joy, as I've always felt that his garden was pretty tacky and didn't deserve all those gala awards. I've always believed the man was clearly overcompensating for something, if you catch my drift. Recently, our flowers have started changing colors, just as I thought we had a chance of winning this year's gala. But now our beautiful flowers are wilting, and I'd hate to have to resort to plastic. You're at Rapidan Camp in Shenandoah National Park. Oh, goody. I do love answering questions about President Hoover's home away from home. It's been years since I've had anyone ask. Herbert Hoover was the 31st President of the United States of America. Would you like to know more about President Hoover? Of course you would. How silly of me to think otherwise. After capably serving as Secretary of Commerce under Presidents Harding and Coolidge, Hoover became a presidential nominee in 1928. Well, of course I can. He's a pretty interesting fellow. On February 10th, 1899, Herbert married his Stanford sweetheart, Lou Henry. Well, yes. President Hoover and his wife, Lou Hoover, built Rapidan Camp. They used the grounds as their presidential retreat throughout his administration. When his term came to an end, President Hoover donated Rapidan Camp to the executive wing of the government, so future presidents could continue to use the camp and enjoy the natural beauty of Shenandoah National Park. Sometimes our presidents still stay here, but one hasn't visited in quite some time. From what I can remember, some undersecretaries were stationed here on that eventful day, but I haven't seen them for some time now. Certainly. Ta-ta, friend.
do it.
Hang-up's been compromised. A group of outsiders rolled in, heavily armed, started setting up camp. Only a matter of time until they find me up here. Pretty sure this is it for me. But, listen, Chief, I gotta come clean. I want to go to my grave with a clean conscience. This whole thing, the reports, the army, it's a sham, boss. Every single file has gone straight to Mr. Stoltz. We're his men first, Chief, not yours. Not really. There's no military contact. Just Hugo. Those of us in the know have been heading out here to play the part, make you think it's real. But this ain't a drop site. It's a smoke break spot. I'm sorry you gotta find out like this, Chief. You're one of the good ones. Don't trust anyone down there. We're all just his puppets. Oh, shit! I'm sorry.
You seem perturbed, my friend. Has your work with Chief Oberlin been that taxing? How crude. Come now, my friend. What is this all about?
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know.
Of course his men work for me. You all work for me, my friend. Allow me to explain. James T. Oberlin is a workhorse. Powerful, focused, efficient. But someone like him needs order. Blinders and a carrot, if you will. With too much freedom of thought, people like him are lost. James came to me as a part of a package. I bought a box of cereal, and he was the delightful toy at the bottom. Now he was a highly decorated, highly skilled prize, but still a part of a larger whole. The best thing for someone like him is a simple purpose. He plays this role because he needs to believe it's true. A smarter man would see through this facade immediately. But not Oberlin. Oh no.
There was a landslide around the mansion. I wonder how that happened.
A crueler thing would be shattering the only thing that's kept the man sane for the past 2 decades. I do this for him, you know. I would strongly advise against that course of action. I must warn you, disrupting such a delicate balance as the human psyche is a dangerous thing. You don't know what will push someone over the edge. But I...
We felt the whole vault shaking a while back. Security said
It's never an easy thing to do to put someone out of their misery. Glad the outside... You're back. And without Daniel. What was the situation? You're serious? And you have proof? Are you sure? Look at me. Are you sure? After all this time, it takes someone from outside this vault to finally tell me the goddamn truth. Thank you, my friend. This... it's very upsetting. I'm glad I have you to rely on. I'm gonna kill that. No, not yet. Not now. I can't give him the opportunity to turn this around on me. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I need time to make sense of this. It's best that Hugo remain unaware that I've been shown the truth. Not until I'm ready to act. I will allow him to think he retains control. You've earned a reward for your effort and honesty. I will let you know if and when I decide to act on this revelation. For now, I wait. Be careful with who you place your trust in down here. It's a viper's den. Dismissed.
I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Screw it. I miss how it was before.
I'll have to keep an eye on Audrey. I think the stress of everything is getting... What do you need? Oh? What did you want to know? As I understand it, our vault's makeup is atypical from your standard operation, largely due to Mr. Stoltz's ambitious approach of its construction. Intending to begin its research even before the bombs fell, residents, scientists, and engineers began moving into the region, even as construction was underway. Mr. Stoltz's intention was for the construction team to onboard as maintenance and security once the project had been completed. This would allow for full operations even during peace times. But, well, construction fell behind as the scope of the vault ever increased. You've perhaps heard the specifics before, but we wound up vulnerable to drafts of fallout when the bombs did finally fall.
Been a long time since we had a good community gathering around here.
Me? I'm nothing special. Spent some time in the military, then found myself with a gig here, as chief of security. Then the bombs came and, well, here we are. He's a businessman with a lot of connections and a lot more ambition. So far, he's the only one to come back relatively unscathed from the accident. Static disposition aside, there's something off about him lately. I just haven't been able to figure out what. Before the bombs, we were a collection of the best researchers, security officers, and construction personnel one could imagine. We're now a fraction of that. A mixture of the best and brightest, being asked to do more than their fair share to survive. What do you need? As I intending to be, even as Mr. Stoltz, this would allow, you've perhaps...
There are animals up there. Any of them good for eating?
What do you want to know about? What do you need? All right, then. What did you want to know? I'll put it this way. She's a lot smarter than she acts. She's unpredictable, difficult to follow in conversation, but ultimately reliable. She gets results. I'm sure if you want to ask her, she'll tell you. She's friendly enough. I was surprised she was related to Hugo. Hugo's brother. Seemed like a decent man, but looks can be deceiving. He was well respected in his field. Biologist, I think. He butted heads with Hugo a few times, but mostly went along with Hugo's decisions. At this point, I think it's worth a shot. I've warned her to be more careful going forward, though. Can't take unnecessary risks when there's so few of us left.
This long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
All right. What did you want to know? How? Yes, I do. How do you know about the Atlas Project? Fort Atlas? Not the Atlas Observatory? I can't say that I do, but I imagine you're about to tell me. I told you the military always has a contingency plan. Unless they aren't military. I'd better be cautious before making contact. It's impossible to know who they are, or how much has changed. It's worth investigating. Could even be worth establishing contact. I took over the role of Chief Army Scientific Advisor from Major Bentley, when he was deemed unfit for the role. Through my management, the program got back on schedule, and we started to see results. Not that it mattered in the end. The bombs did drop suddenly, and the wasteland is a dangerous place. It is possible that not all of them may have survived. No, they must have. My last orders were to continue sending reports on progress of the projects here, and report any suspicious behavior from anyone. It was before the recent chaos. Observation, mostly. I was trusted with everyone's safety. Being security chief meant I had access to everything. I had ears everywhere, from maintenance to top brass. I was to report everything to my superiors at the Capitol. That was the order anyway. The U.S. Armed Forces always have contingencies planned. We're prepared for all eventualities. Even if not everyone were able to make it, there were plans in place to get personnel of every level to a safe location. They'll be finalizing preparations for operations to regroup and rebuild across the country. While it's not the life I envisioned for myself, it's been surprisingly pleasant for the most part. Present conditions aside. It's only really been the last decade or so when things have really begun to fall apart. Anything else? Nothing too personal, I hope.
You reckon that storm's gonna get
Fort
worse or
Atlas.
better?
Not the... What do you need? Oh? What did you want to know? What do you need? Oh? About as well as can be expected. I just need to prepare for what may come. Seems Hilda is working on something that she'll need my help with. A plan to help restore some sanity to the law. Very few people know Cassidy is still in the vault, let alone where she is. Please, keep it to yourself for now. We don't want any unnecessary fuss. Or was there something else? Maybe she's hoping fixing the machine will revert the storm that's gone wild. Or maybe Stoltz has her convinced it's more important than she thinks. Either way, I have concerns about Audrey's obsession with the weather machine. It reminds me of someone I worked with before. A long time ago. Anything?